had a lady said to me, I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep. I said, don't say that anymore. I said, because when you say that, you know what all the cells in the body say? Looks like we can't sleep. It's called cognitive behavioral therapy. Just changing the way we think, because the way we think affects our body.
So if someone has depression and wants help, you know what the first thing we do? Check the air in the room they're sleeping. Check that there's no devices in there. Are they in sunshine every day? Show them how to ease off the stimulants. Show them the importance of sleep. Exercise. The right food. Start drinking more water. And show them the wonderful saying every day, thank God for the body we've been given. There's 2 verses that can really help with depression. One's found in 1 Thessalonians 5:18, in everything give thanks. Thank you, Father in heaven, that I've broken my leg. I don't like it, but I'm trusting that out of this, God's going to teach me some things. In everything give thanks.
Imagine if I told you that chronic stress is silently erasing years from your life, far beyond the well-known headaches and fatigue. Dr. Barbara O'Neill's insightful teachings reveal startling connections between stress and severe health risks. Factors like accelerated aging, weakened immunity, and increased susceptibility to life-threatening diseases. Her findings are nothing short of shocking, suggesting that the daily stress we shrug off is stealthily dismantling our health. In this video, we will dive into Dr. O'Neill's revelations, uncovering the hidden dangers of stress and practical, natural strategies to reclaim your well-being. Dr. Barbara O'Neill explains how chronic stress and sleep are closely connected, showing how stress can severely disrupt sleep and lead to various sleep disorders. When we're stressed, our body reacts by releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which prepare us to deal with perceived threats. These hormones raise our heart rate, blood pressure, and increase alertness. While this is helpful in short-term situations, if stress continues for a long time, it keeps our body in a state of high alert, making it hard to relax and sleep. Dr. O'Neill points out that this constant alertness makes it difficult to fall asleep, stay asleep, or get deep, restful sleep. For many, insomnia is often caused by the brain's inability to wind down due to ongoing stress, which keeps us awake or causes frequent waking during the night. This not only reduces the amount of sleep we get, but also affects its quality, leaving us tired and irritable when we wake up. The effects of poor sleep go beyond just feeling tired. Dr. O'Neill notes that lack of good sleep can make stress worse, creating a vicious cycle. When our body doesn't get enough restorative sleep, it can't recover properly, which harms our physical and mental health. This weakened state makes it harder to handle stress, amplifying its impact and further worsening our sleep. Dr. O'Neill also highlights the psychological impact of stress on sleep. Worrying about not being able to sleep can itself become a stressor, leading to increased stress hormones and further sleep disruption. Over time, this anxiety about sleeplessness can turn into a chronic problem, where the fear of not sleeping keeps us trapped in a cycle of stress and poor sleep. This ongoing lack of sleep due to stress can lead to serious health problems, including heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and mental health issues like depression and anxiety. It also weakens the immune system, making us more prone to illness. The impact on mental health is significant, as sleep is essential for managing emotions and building resilience. Without enough sleep, we're more likely to experience mood swings, irritability, and a decreased ability to handle stress, further perpetuating the cycle. And if you are struggling to get a good night's sleep, Dr. O'Neill recommends this.
There's one more thing I'd like to talk about, and that's Epsom salts. And Epsom salts is magnesium sulfate. And magnesium is a muscle relaxant. So if someone's stressed out, sore muscles, can't sleep, they can have a Epsom salts bath before they go to bed. Even put a couple of cups of Epsom salts in a hot bath. Remember, it does 3 things. It relaxes the muscles, and you might do it for aching muscles. You might do it for if you're stressed, and you might do it if you can't sleep, because magnesium and moist heat relax the muscles.
Stress has a profound impact on the immune system, and prolonged stress can wreak havoc on the body's defenses. According to Dr. O'Neill, stress triggers numerous physiological responses that over time can suppress immune function. When the body encounters stress, it activates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis, leading to the release of stress hormones like cortisol. While cortisol has a role in managing stress, its prolonged elevation becomes detrimental. Cortisol, in sustained high levels, inhibits the production and function of immune cells, particularly lymphocytes, which are essential for fighting infections. This reduction in immune cell activity leaves the body more vulnerable to pathogens, increasing susceptibility to infections and illnesses. Dr. O'Neill further explains that chronic stress disrupts the balance of cytokines, the signaling molecules that regulate immune responses. Normally, cytokines help coordinate the body's response to invaders, ensuring that the immune system reacts appropriately to threats. However, under prolonged stress, this balance is disturbed, leading to an overproduction of pro-inflammatory cytokines. This not only heightens inflammation, but also weakens the body's ability to fight infections effectively. The imbalance in cytokines can contribute to the development of autoimmune conditions where the immune system mistakenly attacks healthy tissues. Moreover, Dr. O'Neill highlights that stress impacts the gut microbiome, an integral part of the immune system. The gut houses a significant portion of the body's immune cells, and its microbiome plays a crucial role in maintaining immune homeostasis. Stress alters the composition of the gut microbiota, leading to dysbiosis, which further compromises immune function. This gut immune axis disruption can exacerbate the body's vulnerability to infections and chronic diseases. Stress-induced changes in the gut microbiome also impair the gut barrier function, allowing harmful pathogens and toxins to enter the bloodstream, triggering systemic inflammation. Dr. O'Neill also notes that stress impairs the production of antibodies, the proteins that recognize and neutralize foreign invaders. Reduced antibody production means the body is less equipped to fend off infections, leaving it more exposed to illnesses. Additionally, stress impacts the body's ability to repair and regenerate tissues, which is vital for maintaining a robust immune system. The cumulative effect of these stress-induced alterations in immune function is a heightened risk of chronic diseases, including cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and even cancer, as the immune system's surveillance against abnormal cells is compromised. Stress accelerates the aging process, primarily by affecting telomeres, the protective caps located at the ends of DNA strands that are crucial for maintaining genomic stability. They act as a biological clock, determining the lifespan of cells by limiting the number of times a cell can divide. Each time a cell divides, telomeres shorten, and when they become too short, the cell can no longer divide and enters a state of senescence or dies. This process is a natural part of aging, but chronic stress exacerbates it significantly. Stress triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which, when elevated over extended periods, contribute to oxidative stress and inflammation, two major factors that accelerate telomere shortening. Oxidative stress refers to the damage caused by free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage cells, proteins, and DNA. This damage is not only confined to telomeres, but also affects the entire cell, leading to faster cellular aging and an increased risk of age-related diseases. Inflammation, another consequence of chronic stress, further accelerates telomere attrition. It is a defense mechanism that, when chronically activated, can lead to tissue damage and the accelerated breakdown of cellular structures, including telomeres. Furthermore, Dr. O'Neill points out that chronic stress impacts the body's ability to repair and regenerate telomeres. Normally, an enzyme called telomerase helps maintain telomere length by adding nucleotide sequences to the ends of telomeres, effectively counteracting the natural shortening that occurs during cell division. However, chronic stress has been shown to decrease the activity of telomerase, thereby reducing the body's ability to maintain telomere length and hastening the onset of cellular aging. This diminished telomerase activity is a critical factor in the premature aging observed in individuals who experience chronic stress, leading to a variety of negative health outcomes, including a heightened vulnerability to chronic diseases such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer. There is a complex link between stress and gut health, drawing attention to how chronic stress can severely disrupt the digestive system. The gut, often referred to as the second brain, is highly sensitive to emotional and psychological stressors. When the body experiences stress, the brain sends signals through the autonomic nervous system, which can alter the function of the digestive organs. This process can lead to a disruption in the gut microbiome, the complex community of bacteria that plays a crucial role in maintaining digestive health. Stress-induced changes in the microbiome can cause a decrease in beneficial bacteria and an increase in harmful bacteria, creating an imbalance that can lead to various gastrointestinal disorders. Dr. O'Neill notes that this imbalance is often observed in conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, where stress is a significant contributing factor. The influence of stress on gut health is not just limited to microbiome alterations. Stress can also impact gut motility, the process by which food moves through the digestive tract. Under stress, the body can either speed up or slow down this motility, leading to symptoms such as diarrhea or constipation. Additionally, stress can affect the gut's permeability, often referred to as leaky gut, where the intestinal lining becomes more permeable, allowing harmful substances to enter the bloodstream and triggering inflammation. This inflammation can further exacerbate digestive issues, creating a vicious cycle of stress and gastrointestinal discomfort. Dr. O'Neill also highlights the role of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal (HPA) axis, a central stress response system that regulates cortisol levels. Chronic stress can lead to prolonged activation of the HPA axis, resulting in consistently high cortisol levels that negatively impact gut function. Elevated cortisol can weaken the immune response in the gut, making it more susceptible to infections and inflammation. Furthermore, stress can reduce the production of digestive enzymes and stomach acid, impairing the breakdown and absorption of nutrients, which can contribute to malnutrition and exacerbate digestive disorders. So, whenever you are having digestive issues due to stress, just try this.
Get on the rebounder. Push-ups. Can't do any of that because the knees and the hips aren't good. Breathe deeply. Remember the lady that tattooed "Just Breathe" on her wrist? Just breathe. Just breathe. And it'll be like a peak. And then it'll ease. The water will kick in. The chamomile tea will kick in. The oxygen will kick in. The first time is the hardest. I said to this girl, I believe you will be able to conquer your panic attack.
And of course, stress has a profound impact on heart health. Stress triggers the release of adrenaline and cortisol, hormones that prepare the body for a fight or flight response, leading to numerous physiological changes. One immediate effect is the constriction of blood vessels, which increases blood pressure. This heightened pressure within the arteries forces the heart to work harder, potentially leading to hypertension. Chronic stress exacerbates this condition, maintaining consistently high blood pressure, which is a significant risk factor for cardiovascular disease. The heart rate also responds to stress, often increasing as part of the body's acute stress response. While a temporary rise in heart rate is a normal adaptive mechanism, prolonged elevation can strain the cardiovascular system. Persistent stress-induced tachycardia, or an abnormally high heart rate, can lead to the wear and tear of cardiac muscles, increasing the risk of arrhythmias and heart failure. The heart's continuous demand for increased oxygen and nutrients under stress can also reduce its efficiency over time, leading to long-term damage. Inflammation, another critical aspect highlighted by Dr. O'Neill, is closely linked to stress. Stress prompts the immune system to release pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are molecules that signal inflammation in the body. While inflammation is a natural response to injury or infection, chronic inflammation due to ongoing stress can contribute to the development of atherosclerosis, where plaque builds up in the arteries. This plaque can harden and narrow the arteries, limiting blood flow and increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke.
You know, while we sleep, our body repairs, revives, rejuvenates. Staying awake all night, what was keeping you awake all night? Sorry, did you say something? Oh, coffee. And to make it taste a bit better and give us some energy, what was going in the coffee? The sugar. She was dehydrated. She didn't want to keep going to the bathroom. She had a lot of work to do. Can you see the vessels are constricting? The blood's thick through the dehydration. Stressed out, stress causes this constriction, and she had a stroke.
It further affects the brain chemistry, significantly altering both its structure and function. According to Dr. Barbara O'Neill, stress triggers the release of stress hormones, primarily cortisol, which, when persistently elevated, can damage the brain's delicate balance. This hormonal surge, intended as a short-term response to danger, becomes detrimental when sustained, leading to structural changes in critical areas of the brain. The hippocampus, vital for memory and learning, is particularly vulnerable. Prolonged exposure to cortisol can shrink the hippocampus, impairing cognitive functions and increasing susceptibility to mental health disorders. The amygdala, the brain's emotional center, also becomes hyperactive under chronic stress, heightening anxiety and fear responses. This overactivity can create a feedback loop where the brain becomes more sensitive to stress, perpetuating a cycle of anxiety. Simultaneously, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and rational thinking, is impaired. Chronic stress reduces its volume, weakening its ability to regulate emotions and leading to a decreased capacity for reasoning and problem-solving. These changes in brain structure underlie the development of anxiety and depression. The imbalance between the amygdala and prefrontal cortex disrupts emotional regulation, making individuals more prone to negative thoughts and feelings. Additionally, stress affects neurotransmitter levels, particularly serotonin and dopamine, which are crucial for mood regulation. Lowered levels of these neurotransmitters, resulting from prolonged stress, are closely linked to depressive symptoms. The disruption of the brain's neurochemical balance under chronic stress also affects neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and reorganize itself. This reduced plasticity hampers the brain's ability to recover from stress and adapt to new situations, further entrenching the effects of anxiety and depression. Dr. O'Neill emphasizes that these changes are not just temporary. The longer the exposure to stress, the more permanent these alterations can become, leading to lasting mental health challenges. Dr. Barbara O'Neill delves deeply into the connection between stress and hormone balance, emphasizing how stress triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone produced by the adrenal glands. Excessive cortisol disrupts the normal functioning of the endocrine system, the network of glands that produce and regulate hormones. This disruption can have far-reaching consequences on various aspects of health. One significant impact of elevated cortisol levels is on the thyroid gland, which regulates metabolism. High cortisol can suppress thyroid function, leading to hypothyroidism, a condition characterized by weight gain, fatigue, and depression. Additionally, cortisol affects insulin regulation, leading to insulin resistance, which increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and obesity. Stress also interferes with the production of sex hormones, particularly estrogen and progesterone in women and testosterone in men. This imbalance can result in menstrual irregularities, reduced fertility, and diminished libido. In women, prolonged stress can lead to estrogen dominance, a condition where the ratio of estrogen to progesterone is too high, increasing the risk of conditions such as polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, and endometriosis. Furthermore, cortisol's effect on the hypothalamus, a brain region that controls the pituitary gland, disrupts the production of key hormones like luteinizing hormone, LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH, which are vital for reproductive health. This disruption can lead to an ovulation, where the ovary fails to release an egg, making conception difficult. In men, chronic stress can reduce testosterone levels, leading to decreased sperm production and quality, further complicating fertility. Stress-induced hormonal imbalances also contribute to emotional and mental health issues, such as anxiety and depression, which can create a vicious cycle, exacerbating stress levels and further disrupting hormonal balance. And to get rid of it, all you can do is
Also, breathe deep. We call it God's LSD. God's LSD, long, slow, deep. So at 2:30 this morning, when jet lag was keeping me awake, I went into long, slow, deep breathing, and often that'll put you back to sleep. Lungs also need you to be well hydrated. So make sure you're drinking adequate water. Exercise is the best stimulator of your lungs. So try and do extra exercises through the day.
So, what are your thoughts on how stress affects your health? Have you noticed any of these signs in your life? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights.